It's time to sing some melodies. It's time to sing some melodies. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with 216. I'll give you for this one, I'm going to give you a pretty explicit accompaniment and play along. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, now I'm going to do it again just with the accompaniment. You should challenge yourself to do it both ways. Now this one doesn't have a te in it, but rather it's a minor mode selection that has mi in it instead of me, and that mi is going to indicate some sort of applied chord to 4. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do a little melodic chunk from You'll Be Back from Hamilton because it explicitly... I should put my crown on. Because it explicitly outlines the 5/4/2 of 4 that happens in it. It's this moment, and I'm not going to play a lot because I don't want my video to get flagged for copyright infringement. Armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. And here it is written out. I've written it out in D. It'll probably sit in more of our voices than the incredibly high voice of Jonathan Groff. The thing about doing syncopated melodies like this is that you should get the syncopation under your belt before you get the scale degrees under your belt. So let's ta it through together once. Now, I like to ta syncopations by putting the subdivision in one part of my performing body and then ta the rhythms. So I'm just going to tap the 8th note like this. I'm just taking a pen and tapping it on the table. You could take your finger and tap it on the table, or just tap your toe. But let's tap 8th notes while ta-ing the actual rhythm here. So here's the 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and ta 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 ta. Let's do it another way. Another way that you could do this is by having 2 different syllables, one associated with when a note starts, and then the other that is silences or stasis. So every rest or every held out note, I'm going to go So I'm going to go with my mouth, and every time a note happens, I'm going to go ta. So that's going to help me feel the durations and the syncopation by making the subdivisions explicit. So I'll start with because those are the first, because there's 2 8th notes of rest at the beginning. So 3 and 4 and ta 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 ta. Alright, now let's sing this together. Let's look at the chromaticism here. We've got a te, which is scale degree flat 7, which is the C natural, and I've also got a B flat. And A B flat in the key of D, since it's a lowered scale degree 6, is going to be lay. So we have this jump up to lay that then goes up to te, which then goes back down to lay. So we've got two chromatic notes in there. The te leading down to lay is theoretically a little interesting, and we'll talk about that a little more in following weeks. But as now, the challenge is going to be to jump up to the te, jump up to the lay, and then move it to te, and then back down to lay before finally resolving on so. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, for this one, I'm going to give you a little, cute celesta accompaniment. And, it's going to be sort of pulsing eighth notes underneath, so the accompaniment is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and throughout the 1, 2, 3. And then for this last one, I'll let you do this on your own. Here's this week's modulating melody. It's a little more tonally ambiguous than last week's, which is going to actually let it sit in more keys, but not sit in any key perfectly. It sounds like this if it's just the white notes. And you just sing that through a couple of times, get it into your ear, and how we're going to do it is start in E major with E major's key signature and E major's solfege, and then keep rotating through keys down a fifth. And the way that we're going to do that is always treat the last note there as being a 5/7 of 4, but then going on to the key of 4 for the next rotation. So we're starting in E major. So we'll start with the F sharp being re, fa, la. And then when we get to the last note there, so it's la in E major, but we're going to hear it as a non-chord tone on top of a 5/7 of 4, going to A. So there's A, and so we're hearing it as a non-chord tone. So some of these are going to be non-chord tones for us to be able to go through all the different keys, but I'm still going to challenge you to hear it as a 5/7 of 4 underneath. Then you'll start in the key of 4. So the next time through, you're going to be in E, in the key of A major with 3 sharps. So La, Do, Mi. For the second time through, and then you'll hear a 7, which is 5/7 of 4 in the key of A, but the next time through you're going to do it in D, so it's 5/7 of D, and so then you'll hear you'll use D major's key signature, and then you add the flatter subtractor sharp right at the end there, and so you get 5 7 of 4. So D7, which is 5 7 of 4 in the key of D major, but then is 5 7 of the key that you're about to go to, which is G.
Just do it already, Chris White.
All right. So here's your dominant seventh. These are whole notes, and there's re do ti do. So there's do, which is E, and there's re. So 1, 2, ready, and.
Did you know sometimes you hold ends too long? Yes, I did. I held the end a little bit too long, but that's okay. Anybody, you can do that. You can do that, students, if you want. You can hold the end too long while you figure out what key you're in. Is good, yes. You hold on a little longer to figure out what key. That's exactly right. You hold on a little longer if you need to figure out what key you're in.
Now, if you want a real challenge, you can challenge yourself to harmonize these in each of the keys. It's actually quite hard. You see, I was like having to think kind of a little hard at some of those points. So it's a cool challenge to try to get yourself to wrap your mind around all of these different keys coming sequentially one after another. What are you going to do for week 4? Well, for appointments, you've got arpeggios to do from chapter 56, exercise 3, A to F. This is what was in the video. You're going to choose 2 to perform on the melodica or the keyboard and choose 2 others to sing. They'll be on the supplementary PDF that I post on Moodle too, the A to F arpeggios. Melodies, 12-16, 12-21, 23, 26, and then that Hamilton selection, everything that was in the video. If you're asynchronous, record them all, and we'll record the ones that represent, grade the ones that represent you best, and then synchronous, prepare them all, and you'll perform 3. And then finally, you've got the modulating melody that was described in this video that you're going to sing all the way through for all the modulations for your TA or for me. For OWL, this week there's going to be 1 melodic dictation, 1 harmonic dictation. The harmonic dictation is just Roman numerals this week. We had 2 parts last week. We're just doing Roman numerals for this week. Quick reaction exercises. I'm going to add some new ones and there'll be ones from the previous week mixed in and randomized. Now you're going to be able to go back and do it a total of 3 times if you want. So you'll have a couple of times that you can do it, and then only the last time you take it will count for the grade. But remember, you only get 3. So that if you do it 3 times, the third time is what's going to count. If you do it 2 times, the second time is going to count. And of course, journal. I want you to make sure you're having a little fun with these and using them not just for my benefit, but also for your benefit. I do need you to account for some detail about how you're spending at least 1.5 hours a week on ear training. So like watched video 1 is not sufficient. Practiced arpeggios, period, is not sufficient. Go into a little more detail about what you did, what was hard, what was easy, how you're improving, what your thoughts are, which particular arpeggios you did, that kind of thing is what I want to see in these journals.
I love to journal.
Alright, thanks for watching the videos. We're at our end, and I'll either see you in your appointments or I'll see you on video next week.